there adequate staffing in the controller's office right now?
At the moment, it doesn't appear to be. From the outside looking in, I think, I've done some research in other counties, they have probably 19, 20 people working in the controller's office. But the other offices they seem to do more in the other offices. I've asked Erie County, I've asked Lehigh County, how many people do they have, and I've gotten responses from them. They say they have like 19, 18. So I would say, based on those numbers, yeah, we're probably a little understaffed because of the cutting, and that does help make checks and balances a little bit more difficult. But I think once they get in there, if you can see the scheduling works and get it done, I think a lot of the problems is that there's no leadership. And it's not only in the controller's office, I think it's county-wide.
Do you know how many bookkeepers are there now?
According to the roster on the budget hearing from last week, there's one bookkeeper in the office. The rest are auditors and senior auditors.
Have you read the 5-year plan that was released in late September by PFM?
I've gotten to about page 100 of it. It's a pretty lengthy document. I think it's 390 some pages, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you hit the highlights then.
Yeah. There's some serious issues there. That, PFM is a great organization. The problem that I see is, there's people in our government that know these problems. This is nothing new. Really, I think everybody that sits in that government, in the courthouse over there, knows exactly what PFM put in there and knows exactly the stuff has been going on for years.
Well, the part I wanted to ask you about in particular was where it points out that this office, the Controller's Office, has struggled to execute even statutorily required reviews, like the annual Controller's Report that the county files with the Commonwealth. It says as of mid-June 2009, the county only had completed audits through 2007 for the clerk of courts and the prison commissary. I could keep going, but
oh, sure.
The point is that there's a significant backlog there.
Yeah.
How would you address that?
Well, I did address it when at last year's commissioners meeting. The reason they're up to 2007 is because I made them go there. In 2008, when I was sitting before the judge for the $16 million loan they wanted to take, one of the issues I brought up at a commissioners meeting is they never did their audits, and the DCED from the state, after my complaint, told the county that if you don't file your audits and do your audits, you're not going to get any more money from us. So that forced their hand to actually get the work done. The problem that I see is the audits aren't being done properly. As we saw from the county sheriff's department, we had an issue with the sheriffs, and A.J. Martinelli said for us to do an audit of the sheriff's department. We haven't done that for years. Yet they've put an audit into the state instead of our audits were done in 2007. Well, you just said that we didn't do the audits of the sheriff's department, yet you said you sent in the report to the state. What numbers did you use? Obviously, they plugged in the numbers from years past, and they didn't actually do a physical audit of those offices of the sheriff's department. So the audits are being done right now haphazardly. I would address that issue by making sure that the audits are comprehensive. I would send a letter to the state and tell the state that there's a new controller in town. We're going to work diligently to get the audits done, and we're going to make sure that they're done properly, and that we need an extension on time to make sure that that happens. Because just to file an audit with the state, for the fact of filing the audit to make sure that we're up to date, doesn't help the taxpayers of this county. All it does is get the state off of our back. We need to make sure that the audits are done right, and that everything that we do as a county controller, make sure that the money's spent properly. And we can ask for an extension from the state, and I'm sure they'd be glad to give it to us. But
do you think there's a need maybe for some temporary help too?
I would think that if our auditors, once we get in there, don't have enough time to do that, I would definitely like to see us get a per diem or somebody bid it out to have that done. But the other problem I see with that is I would like to see our bids done for auditing our books statewide, not just countywide. So anybody from outside this Luzerne County can do the audits. Not that I think that we have problems with Luzerne County auditors, but I think it would make it a whole lot easier to get more bids that are favorable for the taxpayers. It might be cheaper, first of all. Second of all, it might be more transparent. Obviously, if there's people in the county that we're sending our audits to that may want to, call the controller and say we have a problem here, how about fixing it? That doesn't help the taxpayers to expose corruption.